I'm actually very happy that you guys made it to the World Series and won, so congratulations on that. There we go. All right, so Simon Sinek tells us all, find your why. And our why at the L84 Foundation is that PE has become a social justice issue. Let me explain what I mean by starting with the proposition that structured sports participation can help to transform the lives of young people by contributing to their physical, social, emotional, and academic well-being. But not all youth have equal access to fitness and sport opportunities or well-trained coaches and mentors. There is decades of data and research that documents this proposition, and I unfortunately don't have time to go into it today. So instead, I thought I'd share a story that best illustrates the point. Meet Khylin Moore. Khylin is a young man from South Los Angeles that went to a sports program we funded, football program. And when he started, he was an awkward, withdrawn 11-year-old young man in need of a positive male role model. And he had reason to be so. His father is serving a life sentence in prison for murder. His mother was physically and sexually abused. His family faced severe economic challenges, and they were homeless for a time. And Khylin could have been one of those troubling statistics that face African-American males. But due to the efforts of Coach Keith Johnson and his program, Khylin thrived on the field. But not just on the field, he thrived off the field. He earned a Children's Defense Fund Beat the Odds scholarship, and beat the odds this young man has. He played football at TCU, and like most young men from South Los Angeles, he saw football in the NFL as his opportunity out of the hood. But he wasn't draft material. So his backup plan? Rhodes Scholarship. And he'll be starting at Oxford University this summer. And Khylin tells me, he says, Renata, football isn't my life, but it helped to save my life. It gave me opportunity. The motto at the L84 Foundation is life ready through sport. And for us, that means way more Khylin Moores than Venus and Serena Williams or Russell Westbrook. Those needle in a haystack athletes who've gone through programs we funded and have gone on to be sport legends. NCAA data says that high school athletes playing sports today, only 6% of them make it to play at Division I, II, or III schools. And of those youth playing college ball, 3% make it to the pros. Life ready. It means just that. Not NBA ready or NFL ready. It means universal access to playtime. It means whether you're rich or poor, white, black, Latino, Native American, African American, whether or not you live on the south side or the west side, that you have an opportunity to experience the transformative power of sport, of movement and fitness, to have fun, to experience the positive benefits of teamwork and competition, and to engage with positive coach mentors. These are human rights. These are peace and justice rights. And you guys can call this access whatever you like. We like to call it physical ed is a social justice issue. It's a social justice issue. For you see, talent is universal, but opportunity is not. Los Angeles, it's the city I love. It's known throughout the world as a region of wealth, entertainment, sport, and glamour. But like many US cities across the country, the region's successes don't include all residents. Millions of children and their family live in poverty. Half the country's young people don't maintain a healthy weight. Many don't get the recommended amount of exercise. And access to free and reduced cost programs or fields to play on remains scarce in the communities that need them most. A couple more data points to underscore the messy truth of this inequality. Households with the lowest income is where the kids play the least. And across the country, public schools mandate PE for 1, maybe 2 days a week. Most have defunded enrichment programs, including sports, and it's not uncommon for parents with kids in urban high schools to have to pay for their kids to access sport opportunities. We exist, the L84 Foundation exists to tackle this inequity head on. And as the gap continues to widen between those who have and those who don't, we want to make sure that play remains a right that all kids can enjoy. So what's so innovative about the L84 Foundation and our work to close the gap? First, we're based off of innovation. We are stewards of 40% of an unprecedented surplus from the 1984 Olympic Games. And we exist because far-sighted civic leaders wanted to harness the power of a 2-week international sporting event to make sure that we could leave a lasting and sustaining legacy on Southern California's most underserved and under-resourced communities and their families. And I would submit to you that there are numerous international and national sporting events that are held in the United States every year, and they too can harness the power of those sporting events to drive a similar legacy. Second, we support sport biodiversity. We've learned over the last 30 years that not one size fits all, and many kids aren't attracted to the most popular sports. And certainly in this day of early specialization, hyper competition, club teams, travel teams, hyper competition, and a win-at-all-cost mentality, that many kids have opted out of sport, particularly those popular sports, my 2 sons included. And so we've supported over 50 different sports to engage youth with a variety of physical skills, mindsets, and body types. Big and bulky for shot put, thin for cross country, calm for archery, fearless for skateboard. You get the idea. More opportunities, more offerings equals more kids engaged in play. Third, we cannot do this alone. We will partner with anybody who wants to make a positive impact in the communities that we serve and the kids that we serve. And many of those who don't know how. And so we help to structure effective and sustaining programs that's making measurable impact. And let me share a couple with you today. A few years ago, we formed a partnership with the Los Angeles Unified School District to create an free after-school sports program in all the middle schools across LA County, LA City, I should say. And we did this precisely because national data shows us that kids begin to drop out of sport precisely at the age they start middle school. So we figured, if you want to reach kids, go where they are, right? Sometimes the best innovations are simple. Schools are relatively safe environments. They don't require additional travel or transport. They have space and fields to play on, and trusted adults that the kids are familiar with. The results? Participation is up, particularly for girls. Kids are playing and staying active on average 5 days a week, 45 minutes a day, and we're tracking positive academic outcomes. We've also considered, somebody said Dodgers, we've also started an inspired partnership with the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation to refurbish baseball fields in underserved communities throughout the city and the county parks. And we set a goal of 50, and to date we've built 47 dream fields. But what's more important to me in this partnership is that the Dodgers, under this new ownership, has recreated reviving baseball in the inner city and is engaging over 8,000 boys and girls through sports programs in those parks. And they're providing wraparound service, financial literacy, having their eyeglasses, health and wellness. And so it's creating lasting and measurable, impactful change. On the civic side, we formed a partnership with the mayor's office to address gender equity in our parks. The Girls Play LA initiative is aimed at increasing participation in those parks where it's lowest. And how are we going to do it? We're going to give the kids what they want. We found that girls are engaged more in drill, dance, and cheer. So we're going to provide those offerings for them to increase participation. We're also partnering with the Positive Coaching Alliance and the Alliance of Women Coaches to increase female coaching at the grassroots level. You know, we found that it's not uncommon for a female athlete to never experience a female coach in her sporting lifetime. Never. So we wondered, if there were more female coaches at the grassroots level, would more girls play? We'll keep you posted on that one. We even partner with the kids that we serve. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is this youth advisory group that we call Ambassadors, Student Athletes in Motion. And I have to tell you, some of the best and innovative ideas are coming from these young people. There's about 27 of them, and they range in age from 12 to 17. And as a youth development organization that uses sport and structured play as our mode of engagement, we're innovative in the way that we're constantly rethinking our program delivery. Because you see, it's not about just this program or funding this grantee. It's ensuring that we're using an equity lens throughout all of our work to change mindsets, systems, and barriers to access. You see, because we live in a world today that's more than our normal turmoil, and all manner of vexing challenges assaults our lifestyle and prosperity day after day. But PE, physical education should not be a social justice issue. And the dreams of our youth shouldn't be limited by their zip code. And we're in good company. Last year, I was honored to join Pope Francis and 150 global leaders on a conference on faith and sport. This is the time that we can reawaken our faith in faith and the values and the belief of sport as a metaphor for life, His Holiness said. He went on to say that sport, in its simplest form, is one of the most extraordinary of human experiences. It is fundamental for education. It allows children to open up to the trials of life, to put themselves to test, to cross boundaries, to meet opponents on fair playing fields, and to strive to be the best they can be. In some cases, aiming for the transcendent. The transcendent. Kind of like Khylin Moore, huh? You know, I'm here today to make sure that we recognize the importance of sport and structured play as a foundational part of human development. And as we continue to be effective in this area, I want corporate brands, leaders and influencers in the area of public health, education, youth development, civic engagement, or urban planning to understand that youth sports and structured play can be an integral part of all the work that they pursue, of the work that you each pursue. You know, I've got one of the greatest jobs in America. I get to become I'm the steward of an amazing legacy organization from the 1984 Olympic Games, and particularly with the prospects of Los Angeles hosting its third Olympic Games. I'm a huge sports fan, and I get to harness the power of sport for the benefit of the communities who need them most. But we can't do it alone. So if in this 10 minutes that I've shared with you today, that I've sparked a little bit of your why in our work, please come connect with me, because we can certainly use your help to close the inequity gap. Thank you.